What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. Sorry for a little bit of a late start. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we got it all squared away and ready to go. But just good to have you guys. You know, it's Tuesday night. It's Rebels with a Cause, and you know, baby, that the cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Just remember that. You know, we got a great show, got a lot of things to talk about. First and foremost, I always want to start the show off with the views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of West High School. These are the opinions of the Rebels with a Cause crew. Myself, the Italian Stallion, two-pair Tate, Brian Tate, and the stat man himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee. But at the end of the day, we give nothing but love and everything and all the passion in the world of what we talk about and what we believe, as we all are rebels with a cause. That being said, I also want to give a quick shout to my guy, Mr. Alex Thatcher, a 2003 graduate of West, and his company with his dad, the Knoxville Coffee Company, right there off of Sutherland Avenue in the heart of Marble City. Get you a brew. You won't regret it. Any time of the day, it's good. Go pay him a visit. Tell him that you came because of Rebels with a Cause. And also, my gal, the chamber's finally open. So, men, if you want to be treated like royalty, go pay Miss Kim and Miss Rachel a visit over there at Washington Pike. Give her a call, get you scheduled. She'll get you taken care of. Anything you need, and you will definitely get that royal treatment. So definitely hit her up. With that being said, I want everybody to get loud and proud, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this recorded. I know that everybody's excited about what was in the box. We'll show you what's in the box. But first and foremost, I got to bring in my brothers, my co-hosts. First, he is a 2003 Mr. West. He has been the voice of the Rebels and Lady Rebels basketball for 18 plus years. You hand him a mic, he will entertain you because that's what he does. And it's all with love. He's my brother. And he's the favorite Seminole that I know. Let's give it up for the one and only Mr. Two-Pair Tate, Brian Tate. How you doing, brother?
What's up, brother? What's up, brother? I've seen you once already this week.
We had a great day.
That was awesome, man. It was really awesome. You know, I just really want to thank our administrative staff.
Yes.
From Speeds to Carruthers to Romero. This administrative staff is the best in the city, man. Like you don't get a better staff of people than the people that we get to work with, and for them to put our podcast on the fan zone on the app and the parents. I really think we got to give it up to those parents, man,
yes,
because they showed a ton of love. Like, shout out to Ryan Scott's mom,
Joanne. Yep, Joanne Scott.
Joanne. Really shout out to all the interviews we got last night. All the interviews are great, from Wyatt DeRoche to Antoine Burdine to Campbell to Marshawn Bowers. Devin Jameson is in there.
Yep. The quarterback, Hunter Dance.
Yep. And I thought it was real cool the way Hunter was like, you know, I'm preparing for that next step of life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Rooming with one of his offensive linemen, Britton Carver, who gave a great interview to me. So shout out to him.
Gave a great interview. Yep. Man, like the interviews were just so great last night. We interviewed Jack Keith during the spring scrimmage. Mm-hmm. So that was like one of our spring scrimmage interviews. We were going to get him last night, but he went straight back to workouts.
Yeah, and I tried to get Connor Cummings, but he jetted out of there pretty quick. And I was also looking for Parker Dubon, but you know, people had stuff to do. It was a Monday night. I myself had to jump on back at work when I got home because we were so busy. And so that's why it took a minute for me to upload those videos last night.
Oh no, you were good, man.
Yeah,
I caught most of them. The Hunter Dance interview and Wyatt DeRoche. And we've got to set up a way for Wyatt DeRoche to meet Big O. Because Big O, when he came on our show, that was his favorite player, Wyatt DeRoche. Yeah. And I was telling Wyatt DeRoche about that last night. He's like, I never got to meet Big O. I don't know Big O. I was like, oh man, you don't know the legend of Scott Oderson.
I think what's so crazy is there's like 30 years in between them if you think about it, like in that standpoint, because Big O played like in 96, 97, 98, and now
Yeah,
we're in like the 24 season, so it's almost 30 years. I mean, think about that. That's like mind blowing right
it
there.
is.
The
It
other
is.
thing, I want to give another shout out to the administration. I mean, to put that together at the last minute, they had
Yeah.
waited a while for these rings. I mean, we literally, I did the time frame. The calendar
Hmm.
was January 20th, right after Snowmageddon. Snowmageddon actually delayed this a week. And the design, which you'll get to see here shortly, I will reveal it, like I
Oh
promised.
wow.
It took a minute. Yeah. And
I
so
thought you were gonna use it as your backdrop.
I thought about it, but I was just like, let's do the reveal, let's do the drama and
Oh,
everything. I
okay,
want
okay.
Shane on here, everything like
Yeah, yeah,
that. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shane unfortunately is coaching and he couldn't be there yesterday. I know he would have loved it, but you talk about the administration. We have such a good administration, two pair.
Yeah, we
The
really
fact
do.
is that two of them are now principals at other schools. They've moved up. You had the one principal, the assistant principal that's now the head principal at Hardin Valley Middle. Okay. You
Yeah.
also had the other young man who is now a principal over at Vine Middle. Like,
Wow,
I mean,
that's awesome.
it just shows that the administration underneath her, they move on to great things and they do great things. They're rebels with a cause, whether they like it or not, whether they graduated
Hmm.
from West
Hmm.
or not.
Oh,
So,
you know what? Also, I loved your interview with Ayman Muhammad.
oh, yes.
That
Yeah.
was a really good interview. Like
Thank you.
these, I love watching the interviews, man. The interviews. I
Yeah,
was like, we'll get a few. I didn't know a few turned into that many interviews last night.
exactly.
It was really
Exactly.
cool. It was really special to be a part of, man. I felt like it's a special time that, that's the last that we're gonna remember of going back to back. Like now it's over. Like
Yeah.
we
That was the cherry or the
oh
bow on
yeah,
the
it's
present.
like
It's done. Yeah.
now the focus is on three, and every player almost said the same thing about the chance for three. And I don't want to keep rambling because I know you got it. We got to get Shane on, but it was so special to see, man. Like it was really cool to see.
It was special, and I am going to bring Shane on the proper way. But you really hit it on the head. The parents, the support, the administration, the players. A lot of people can say, "Oh, what is that slogan, One West?" No,
No,
we
that is I
really
saw it
are
last night.
One West. And
That
that's what I'm
was
saying.
that
It's
was one
special.
West last night. I'm talking about you had former players
Yep.
from the 22 team there.
There. Yep.
Yeah,
It's a family. He
that was
wants
really
them to
cool.
come back. He wants them to feel welcome to come back. No disrespect to the coaches that were there when we were there. I never felt welcomed back. There was never like this brotherhood thing that I'd like to really start with the Rebels. That, anybody that watches this show, whether they played before us, during us, shortly after us, during the 2014 team, I want us all, no matter what the decade, to come together and be like something special, honestly,
Yeah.
like the rebel brotherhood, honestly.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
think that this show can really, do that olive branch, so to speak. So yeah. But without further ado, let's bring him on, everybody. I want to bring him on because right now he's coaching. He's working, he's cooking, he's doing all the things that he does. He's looking up stats. He is the guy that has so much knowledge when it comes to football. Just sitting next to him during a game, you learn so much and see things that maybe you wouldn't normally see. And we are so glad to have him as a part of the show, part of the crew. And I can't wait for him to be there on Friday nights to watch this special team that I really think is going to make some noise this year. Without further ado, let's bring him on, the stat man himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee.
What's up, fellas? How we all doing
Yeah.
tonight?
Dude, we're doing good. I mean, I'll tell you this. I was like at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I was like, man, I have been up since 6 this morning. I had a doctor's appointment, and I was like, man, I just hope I have the energy for this show. But seeing you guys, I always get that extra boost, that adrenaline rush to make it happen and have fun with you guys. So.
That 5 a.m. alarm every morning is a little rough, but yeah.
Man, what you said. Man, Shane O'Mac, man, how's coaching and everything going right now?
It's going. We're in pads now. Tomorrow we're really gonna start hitting, so I'm looking forward to that. A little today was a offensive install, so my sixth graders got some work in, learning the rest of their playbook, and they did pretty good tonight, so not too bad. It's nice seeing my son get yelled at by a different coach and him respond instead of shutting down because I'm dad. He can't separate dad and coach sometimes, but he did good tonight.
That's awesome, man.
Made one hell of a catch on the out route today. I was really proud of that one.
That's awesome. Now, is he playing both ways, or is he just focused on offensive?
I got 17 kids on the sixth grade roster. Only 7 of them have ever played more than 1 year of football. So he is starting receiver, starting safety, third line on the on kickoff or on kick return. He's my gunner on kickoff. He'll probably be a gunner on a punt as well. So.
Wow, he's going to be playing Iron Man football is what it sounds like. So.
Yeah, most of them will be.
Yeah. But you know what? That's how they get better, honestly. And the ones that came out that first year, playing, they will get better. That's the thing. It takes repetition. It takes that. I just hope that none of them quit. Just commit to it. And by the time you're a freshman in 4 years, and it'll be there quick, you'll be ready.
I told my son tonight, I was like, the reason the coaches get me on to you is because we expect a lot out of you when you been playing the game since you were 4. You've got the most experience in tackle besides our quarterback. And we expect a lot from you.
That's exactly right.
We don't personally have any issues with you. It's just we expect you to prove that you've been playing for 7 years now.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about 7 years. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
Wow.
Man.
It's just wild to even think about. But no, that's what I want to know is for your kid playing both ways. I played both ways. I feel like it's the best way to gain experience is learning offense and defense. I always thought it was the best way.
From where I had issues being coachable back then because I was like, oh, I just rely on my athletic talent. So to teach him hey, you got the talent, but you need to be mentally prepared as well. I make him dig into his playbook for an hour a day, just hey, even though we're only going through these 2 formations, you need to know them inside out. You need to know all 3 receiver positions. You might need to learn running back position. You need to know when the play is called and where to go. If somebody up, you need to get them lined up, which he's always been good at. I run a new playbook that he hasn't used, and I'm having to kind of show him hand signals hey, this is what it'd be for us.
Right.
This was post for me. This was slant. This was go. This was bench. So I'm having to teach him different ways to communicate. But he picks it up real quick. So.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's how you get better because it's all that's all it is. It's hand signals now. And then they have people covering the coach up. So signals can't be stolen now in big time football.
We're not doing hand signals this year. So my quarterback's calling it in the playbooks. It's simple enough for them to understand. But I've used a lot more advanced terminology and advanced play calling. So I'm even having okay, how do I explain this in an easier fashion? I'll call my receivers. I was hey, here's what your route's supposed to look like. Do you understand where you're taking your step and how you're supposed to hit this angle? So
that's awesome. That's awesome. I wanted to share something with you guys. When we played, a lot of us did have to play both ways just because we didn't have the numbers. There was injuries. Maybe there were some guys that were trusted more than others. And realistically, by the second quarter, we were worn out, honestly. And that's why there were a lot of games that were lost. I want to give a shout out to Scott Shavers, Morgan Shavers' father.
Oh,
who
man.
Is
what
the
an awesome man.
Oh, let me tell you something.
We got to clap it up.
Let me tell you something. If we ever got that guy on here to talk about his involvement with this program and who he's coached with, who he's been with, over these years, he is the reason that we play two platoon football. Not that some guys don't play both ways and get in there, because when it counts, you do have a Marshawn Bowers and Six Horde there in the backfield, in the defensive backfield, to make sure nothing gets behind them. But that's not my point is that to play in 5A and 6A, you have got to have guys that are fresh and conditioned and, are playing one thing. I mean, obviously, yeah, you could get Ryan Scott out there on offense to play tight end, but
man,
why?
he would be a
Why? I mean,
fantastic tight
look
end.
how good he was on defense because he didn't have to play offense.
The amount of guys that you see now that if they play both ways is you maybe have 4 tops throughout the entire team. And that's just because they're a baller and you've got to get the ball in their hands somehow, somewhere. They're going to be a playmaker somewhere. Like they're going to play. It's going to be that hybrid linebacker. They're going to be that safety or that corner, or it can be that receiver or that running back. But not really running backs anymore. Mainly your receivers and your secondary and kind of like that hybrid linebacker maybe. Just because their instinct is there. But you do not see a lot of two-way players anymore.
No, you don't, and not at this level, not at the 5A or 6A or private school. No, you can't.
Not in like even in our day, some of the guys that were offensive guys didn't play defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were not like. I was not gonna see somebody who is a force on the offensive side play defense. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not putting certain guys in our era two ways. Like if we had enough manpower back then, yeah, but there was a lot of times you saw dudes in our era did play the two ways. Mm-hmm. But we weren't trying to put that many like Boss Avery Graves, Doug Madison, Scott Oderson. Those were two-way guys.
Mm-hmm. Jason Day was like a 3 or 4-way guy because of
Jason
the day.
Day was a
holder, punt return, blocking,
like,
tight end, defensive line, defensive end. So yeah,
another guy, T. Maples.
Yeah, Terry.
T. Maples was playing both ways.
Yep. I mean, William Ergen played fullback and linebacker. You also had what's his name?
Daniel Stewart.
Stewart played both ways. So
Daniel Stewart played both ways. And Daniel Stewart, I want to get Daniel Stewart on the show. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about him is he understood leverage and speed and know how to use it. Him and Sean Eccles. Talk about an athlete. Sean Eccles. Yeah. Sean Eccles was an offensive guy when I first got to West, and then he was defensive end, and you couldn't stop him.
That 99 defense was so nasty. I'm telling you, that was such a nasty defense.
Was nasty. That 99 defense was. That was a great team, man. And Jimbo doesn't get hurt.
I think they do better. I think they do better for sure. So yeah. Well, I know that we have some people that definitely want to. If they're watching it live or they're watching it recorded, they're here to see the ring revealed. So I want to first start off by showing last year's ring that I wear proudly every week. This was last year's ring and so forth. And, and I'll take it off because
you should have did it on the green screen. You should have really did this on the green screen.
Well, you know what? I'll promise you this. Next week, we'll have it on the green screen. Both of them, honestly. Yeah. But like literally, it had my name. And they put a helmet on there and they put West and the 15-0, which was such a special team, a dominant team.
Dominant. They were
dominant. Very, very special.
That's the most dominant. That's dominant, man. To watch that 15-0 team. When I saw that ring reveal last night, that ring looks like one of the a CFP college national championship ring with the detail.
Yes,
man, the detail is amazing.
And when I saw what they were doing, that's why it took so long. And I almost thought, did we just outkick our coverage, type of thing? Did we just go to the moon? but look at the difference of these rings, you know. And so anyway, I've put the other ring away in its box, and of course I teased last night. I said, what's in this box? You know, what is in this box, so to speak. And so anyway, that being said, I'm going to see if I can get as close as I can.
The ring reveal. Can we
The
can
ring
we get
reveal.
the banner? Can we get the banner? Can we get the banner for the ring reveal?
Let's see here.
Look at that bad boy.
Ooh.
Man.
All right, so now I'm going to take it out. Here we go.
Hey, let's get a banner. Ring reveal. Ring ceremony.
Let's do ring ceremony. Let's get it up there.
Ring ceremony.
Let's get it up there. Let's get it up there.
Ring ceremony.
Dun 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 dun.
That's what hard work and dedication looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it, man. Look at that.
That is nice.
And it fits perfectly right there. And so let me show you the detail real quick. It's got state champion on the side with the trophy, state championship trophy with the W on the top. On this side, it has West and the 14-1 record.
Only one day. So that's 19-1.
29-1.
29-1.
Yes. 29-1. And then on this side, no, you're fine.
29-1.
And then on this side, this is the part that is so special to me.
Sorry for the math kids. I messed that one all up for
the
y'all.
Fact that they have my last name Freeman and my number 45 on it is so special at that
wow,
moment.
that's dope, man.
So this has been it's been amazing. And so as promised, people have asked me, are you going to wear both rings? And it's a little bit of a challenge, but I figured, you know what? Why not? Because how often do you get to do it?
Kiss the rings.
Kiss the rings, baby. This is what domination of 5A football is all about. 29-1. You know, what is it? 592 days.
How many different profile pics have you posed for it? Like,
oh, they will all be on. Listen, there were some professional pictures taken today in my suit with it and everything. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be obnoxious. You know, it's me, the Eric Bischoff of high school football, right here. I'm telling you. So
you know what one. You know, can I get a personal? This is a personal one for me. Can you have you with the backwards hat and the headphones?
Yes. I'll do it.
And a cigar.
Oh,
a cigar.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let's see here. All right.
See, we're really good sports when we win. Yeah, that's the one. That's the top 5 one right there. That one. That's the epitome of success. Man, you like a young Mike Dicker.
And then DJ Khaled playing in the background. All we do is wins.
Another one.
And another one. Hey, Shane, that's a great segue. Two-pair. What did Coach Brown say at the end after everybody had gotten their rings, everybody's name had been called? What did he say? And you just got chills. And that room erupted with the biggest pop of the night, honestly.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, I feel like I'm in a time warp, though.
Yeah.
Because when we were in school, like, it was tough to get wins. Like, the culture shift. The culture shift in, you got guys like you that have done what you do for the school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shane played, like, 3 different sports at West, right? You went track, cross country, and football.
Yep. No, I didn't cross country. No, I did too. Track.
Two sport athletes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I did pretty much everything at West. But to see where we've come from and to see where they're going, it just gives you chills, man. Like, get another one. And then Coach gone last night.
Yeah.
How cool is it that Coach gone, who, West High soccer coach, like, just a
Mhm.
leader amongst men. If there's any guy to show you how to be a man, there's two huge impacts at that school. Coach Gone and Mr. Carruthers.
Mhm.
Cause it's like, man, the amount of children they've saved to where they're adults thriving in whatever they're doing, it goes without question that those dudes are incredible educators. And
Mm.
I didn't
and it's
I didn't know that Coach Gone was a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
oh
So
wow.
he was at it was the West Bearden game. What game was it? It was one of the games last year. He was doing all the fundraising for Reese Across America.
Yeah, Reese for Veterans Across America. He does so much with that. And, he's the press box coordinator. Like, that is his press box. And the pictures he took last night of us two pair, that's going to be in the press box, by the way, honestly.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah. And, I mean,
Wow.
my face is up there, like with my position and everything of what I do. We are up there. And when somebody leaves, they get their picture taken down. But these pictures are going to be immortalized because of the championship. That's why he wanted the boys up on stage. He's going to put pictures, and that press box is going to be almost like legendary to walk into. That you're like, look at this team, look at that team, and everything like that. So absolutely.
Yeah,
So
man,
yeah.
it's really cool to see, man. Like I'm glad that we're able to cover it, we're able to talk about it, and the amount of great talent. Like, if you would have told me in high school I'm getting interviewed by a podcast that comes on YouTube live, and
You say, "What's a podcast and what's YouTube Live?"
exactly, what's a podcast and
Well,
what's YouTube
well, and
live?
when I was doing Devin Jameson, some of the guys that are on this year's team that are going to be like, watching, they were all like, dude, he's interviewing you or whatever like that. And Devin, shout out to you, brother. Honestly, you were a good sport. He was like, man, I didn't think I'd get nervous. I said, you did great. You did great. It was kind of on the fly, and that's what makes it so good, an impromptu type thing. Because when you got time to prepare, you kind of lose something. You kind of
Yeah.
really, but
You know what I'm saying? My guy, Mr. Campbell, who's gonna be going into the armed forces. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
really, really cool. Really
Yeah.
cool.
I also, I hope I'm not revealing anything if it was something said in private, but there's a certain young man that is all about going to West Point right now. And his mom told me about it. He's got other options, but he's putting all his eggs into this basket of West Point. And he'd like to not only play ball there, but he would also like to, become part of the army and go there. And West Point, they just don't take anybody. I mean, you have to have the grades, you got to have all around stuff to be at West Point. So that's
We
for
got
special.
my former stepbrother. He was accepted to West Point, but he decided not to go. Actually, ended up joining the Marine Corps and became an officer later on. But he had like a 3.8 GPA, wrestle,
Wow.
that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's tough there. And you have to have all your test scores from the school turned in by a certain time, or those academies.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's so competitive to
Yeah.
get your stuff out there. So
So
yeah.
yeah, he's going to stay on top of make sure the school's getting all his stuff sent in because I do know a player a couple of years back with the former program I was with that the school didn't send his transcripts in time and he got denied Air Force Academy.
Wow. Wow. Well, the other thing I want to say about the ring ceremony, too, it was so powerful to hear Coach Brown just say, let's get another one. I just loved how he said, let's get another one,
Get another one.
and let's get another one. And like that pop was there. And, I just was like, Tuper, we interviewed, 7, 8 guys. we could have interviewed like 25 guys. You know, there was so much talent in that room, whether they, you know, and then there were some guys that didn't even make it. You know, unfortunately, at the last minute, Anderson Smith couldn't make it. CJ Smith wasn't there. You know, like there were some guys that Patrick Schmidt couldn't make
Yeah,
it.
CJ's little brother accepted
CJ's
his
little
role.
brother came up there and got the, and it was so funny. Like it was like a really good laugh moment, you know. But
Yeah, man, that was real cool.
I love that
Shout
kid.
out to CJ. Shout out to CJ's parents, man. Big C. You know what I'm saying? He
I love Chavez. I love
man,
Chavez.
Chavez Smith, one of
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, former UT player, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day.
Yep. Yeah.
You know.
I just have bonded with these parents, you know, and already started a bond with these up and coming parents too. And you know, I want to give a shout out also to Nalaja Dickey. I bought a card from him. Number 95 plays defensive line, and he's going to be an absolute animal this year in his junior year. But you know, he came up to me and thanked me very respectfully for buying a card. But one of my best friends is his big brother in the Big Brother Little Brother program. So I've watched this young man grow up, and he's like bigger than me now. And it's like, wow, you know, and I gave him a hug. I said, listen, you don't need to thank me for nothing. We're family. Like indirectly, you're like a little brother to me because of your relationship with Will. Shout out to Will Tercios. But I'm just saying that like, it's so amazing to watch these kids grow up. I mean, people remember Coach Gahn was talking about remembering JP Peace being a little guy, and now JP Peace is huge, you know, and it was just great. And I'll tell you this, man, I have definitely seen some gains by these guys that are going to be playing offensive line. I mean, I don't know if you saw him, but David Mabane, I mean, just huge, like just in a good way, One of those big 7 offensive linemen that you're going to see contribute. And
Were there any scrimmages coming up?
Yes, I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, for sure. So I guess we'll finish up with the ring ceremony. That it was a very special night. It closed the chapter on the 2023 season, and now it's 2024. You know, it is, and that was a good segue right there, talking about you know, West Rebel football now. You've got a couple of big scrimmages coming up. Now, here's the deal. Because these teams came to us last year, we have to go to them on the road. And we definitely, the first one's going to be against Jefferson County. And I believe that'll be on a Friday night. I want to say football camp is next week. And I want to say that it might even be next Friday night, the 26th, and so forth. So there might be that. On top of that, the following week, which is going into August, they have the what's it called? Another scrimmage, this time against Catholic at Catholic. So that's going to be a really big test right there, because you know,
now, when is that
Catholic.
scrimmage?
That scrimmage might be August 3rd, I want to say. I'll have to look at the calendar of how it lines up, but I really believe that those scrimmages are going to be either the last week of July and the first week of August, or the first 2 weeks of August, because the Jamboree is the 14th, and we play on that Thursday in one quarter against Grace, and then a week later on Saturday, it's go time, man. It's the first week of Bearden. So if you think about it, we really are 5 weeks away from our first game, but we're really just a couple of weeks away to see where we're at in a scrimmage. And I know that Jeff County's a little bit out there and so forth. If I can make it, I will, but I can definitely make that that Catholic game for sure. I definitely can. So yeah.
I got to find out what my practice schedule is going to be, because the Jamboree is at Carnes, and we practice at Carnes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I'm interested in seeing how they would look against Catholic. Like I'm really wondering like what they would look like against Catholic.
The year before. So no Bearden scrimmage Catholic a few years ago. I think Bearden and West both scrimmage Catholic, and Catholic kind of got handled by both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I would love to see what they look like against a team like Catholic.
Catherine had a lot of turnover in the coaching side. I'm not sure how they're all meshing together. I mean, that's more a politics thing and who they want in there, and they've got to do whatever they want to over there. But there's a lot of coaching changes going on over there.
Yeah, because it's now Shadowinds. Last year it was Shadowinds and what was his name, Shane? I'm sorry. God, he's now over at Concord. He's now building that program over at Concord Christian. But I just can't think of his name at the moment. But he literally Matthews, Shane Matthews. Or Steve Matthews. Steve Matthews. Steve Matthews and Shadowinds were co-coaches last year, and now it's Shadowinds by himself, but they get some great talent there. And honestly, I think that even if West gets, on the bad end of that stick, at least where you're going up against because of that brutal schedule. We've talked about it. We'll continue to talk about it. And realistically, Bearden is really going to be a great test. It has been a great test the last couple of years, but even more so this year, especially with who's transferred in. They have lost a couple pieces, but they're deep. I mean, Shane, how many kids dress out for Bearden? Would you say 80 or 90 guys at least as well? So they're a 6A school, though. They've got 2,000 kids to choose from. I mean, not all of them are guys, but still, you've got easily 1,000 guys in that school to choose from. So at this point,
I don't think there's like 2,400 kids in that school, something like that.
Yeah,
maybe more.
I mean, they've got 1,000 more kids than West. West is in between 14 and 1,500 at this point. So yes, they've got a lot of kids over at Bearden. So yeah, I mean. And it's growing. I mean, you see neighborhoods pop up. There's a new apartment complex being built right there by Sam's Club and Walmart on Walker Springs. That's going to be zoned for Bearden, those kids. So, anybody move into the area. So
you just had the other one that was just built within the last year and a half, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just right across the street.
Well, and I feel that they're building in this area off of Middlebrook near Hardin Valley. Like, that's why I just can't understand why Hardin Valley's not better. Maybe this Georgia coach that's come
they're building another subdivision out here. Like, if you go down West Emory, now it's a traffic light. So if you go down past Carnes Elementary and hit where West Emory is and hang a left, and then you hit, I can't think of the name of that road right now. I used to drive down it all the time. But they just sold off it was like somewhere between 10 and 20 acres of land, and whole new subdivision going up right now.
That's crazy. I mean, they're gonna. Sandy and I talk about it all the time. They're gonna have to build another high school. I just don't know where they would position it, because, truth be told, the most logical place would probably be North Shore. But then you're taking away from Bearden as well as potentially Farragut. So over there. So that would be something interesting too.
My daughter, my middle daughter, she's at Bearden, and she said it is packed in there now.
Yeah. And their campus is a lot bigger than West, like I'll tell you this, guys, it was such a shock for me to go from Bearden to West, because Bearden, I had classes all over campus, not only just the main building, but I had classes down in the vocational building. I had to walk down past the stadium, the portables and everything as a freshman. Like, that was weird. And then when I get to West, everything was we had some portables, but everything was clustered right there in the building, you know what I mean, and so forth. And so it's just amazing to me, the differences of those two schools. And of course, the classes that Bearden offered, there were way more classes offered at Bearden than there were at West. Honestly, I mean, when I went over from Bearden to West, my whole schedule changed. It was I think I got 2 classes in the fall that I had originally scheduled at Bearden, because they just didn't have it at West or what have you. So, and I'm not going to lie, I had signed up for some easy joke classes for it to be easy for football. So yeah, in the fall. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be it's going to be a great season. And that Jeff County scrimmage, they were good. They had a good team last year, and Jeff County knocked us off the ball. They knocked us off
Story
the ball.
I have on the Jeff County AD though. So last year's playoff game, Bearden is at Jeff County, and we took a knee to run the clock out, and they magically stopped the clock and gave the ball back to Jeff County on fourth down. And they threw a Hail Mary into the end zone that got dropped from like maybe the 25-yard line. Maybe.
Wow.
Like it was a cluster. I was like, that is illegal across the board. It's like, I think what they stopped the play clock and the game clock on like third down.
Home cooking.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, home cooking.
Like we're all standing there like
total home cooking.
It's like the Alcoa game last year where the lights went out and there was no penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I'll tell you this. I know that Wes is going to be playing Clinton, but I'd like to keep my eye on that Alcoa Bearden game, through what's it called, Diamond Clear, or watch the replay on that, and so forth when they play. So be awesome for sure. So yeah,
that'd be dope.
It would be for sure. So, one thing that I am looking forward to as well is, a lot of the players at the ring ceremony, the seniors, they talked about the focus that needs to come into this, and also the fact that, they shouted out some guys to watch out for this year that they really felt could keep the tradition alive. I mean, Devin Jameson shouted out Tavion Ray and Keelan Rucker at running back, and those guys are going to be seniors, and they backed up, along with Messiah Wren, Devin and Bowers last year. So now Bowers and Devin are gone, and now it's the Messiah Wren and Tavion Ray show. And then we didn't even get to see Keelan Rucker in the spring game, but we're going to get to see him. I mean, he played in the 7-on-7, and I like to liken him to a mini George Foreman. He's built like George Foreman, but he's like 5'8", 5'9". But when he gets the ball, he is a bull to bring down. So to have another guy like that, in addition to the other young men that we saw get a crack at that position, they're deep, man. They are deep at that position. And behind that offensive line, it's going to be really good. And I can't wait to see what the quarterbacks and receivers do, capitalizing off what I saw from that first team in the spring game. So, or the 7-on-7 spring game and the 7-on-7. So
we are so close to August 24th, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting very close to. We're getting very, very close to August 24th, and the way the weather has been, it will be a scorcher.
Depending on when that game is played. And I know, Shane, did you say you might have a game that Saturday morning or whatever? Like you missed the one last year, right? Like
I got the schedule changed because it was going. We all knew that Bearden and West were playing at noon, so we got the games moved to like the 9 a.m. kickoff for both teams, just so
you could make it.
Everybody could be there to support those two teams.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I'll tell you this. If since the game is at Bearden, if we can pull it off again, I would love to set up maybe a pregame day or something like that in that lower parking lot down there with the stadium on the hill in the background. That would be an incredible shot.
We gonna do Rebels with a Cause game day?
We might do Rebels with a Cause game day. Yes.
The better view would be the top of the stadium where the hill is at, next to their rock. I mean, the rock is up.
Oh, they're up there by the band room. And so
where the wrestling area is.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You're like the backside of the gym facing Gleason.
Yes. Yeah, no, I know exactly where you're talking about. That would be the best view problem is the parking will probably be just insane there as
Oh yeah,
opposed to
parking will be
lower
parking
parking
will be
lots. So
Yeah, parking's
yeah.
gonna be crazy.
But if we get,
now,
the three of us could always scope it out. We could always
now
laugh.
where the band practices at, that is paid parking there for
That's like the booster. That's like the
for
boosters.
for the raise money for the band.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But if you come in that back gate over there off Gleason and park there, you end up paying. I don't know what the total is, because I've never always park over either the senior lot or somewhere around there and then walk over.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I always do. So yeah, yeah. Well, we'll have to look at it. We'll definitely have to look at it. And the funny thing is that if we did go live from there, that would be hilarious. Honestly, like, I mean, it would be incredible talking about the matchups and just hyping it up, and then getting interviews after the game, like post game interviews. So yeah.
oh, don't forget they raised ticket prices.
Oh, that's right. Shane, talk about that, man. Yeah, let me. I'm going to create a banner while you talk about it. Hold on one second. Let me see here real quick.
Yeah, the ticket prices. As I did not know that until you said something about that. So, when did this go into effect? Is this because like all the fields are getting renovated now, or?
Well, from what I was told, from what I read and everything, is they originally were going to do this back during the COVID season, but because of everything going on, they postponed it for now. We're talking about 4 seasons. So it's a $2 increase. So now it's $10 a ticket for football, $8 a ticket for basketball. And I even believe like middle school prices have gone up as well. I'm not sure what those prices are, because
middle school prices have went up.
Yeah, but that's only going to be for basketball, because Knox County doesn't have a sanctioned middle school football league, obviously, because everybody, it's still, you join a club and you play through that way, and then they pay county to use the fields and all that stuff. But I think our ticket prices were already what the high schools are going to now.
You know what's crazy? Do you remember when we played? It was $5, guys. Then it went up to $6. Now then it was $8, and now it's $10.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously I don't have to pay that because I'm on staff or whatever, but still. So does that mean that TSSAA is going to raise the playoff games to what, 12, 15 now and so forth? And then the championship game might be $20 to get in and so forth at this point, which, listen, I don't care to pay that. If we're in the championship game, I'll pay 40 or whatever. Are you kidding me? Come on now. So yeah, but, I like I said, you two pair, $8. It's a good thing that we made a good change at the girls basketball level, because I mean, goodness gracious. So I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, nobody was going to pay $8 early on. I mean, they'd be all just paying for the boys at 7 o'clock or whatever.
So, because it's like
I'm just here to get my seat.
Oh yeah, right.
It really was like that, man.
But
really
I feel like that's gonna change now with the way. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna change now with
the grave digger. That's what I call him, the grave digger. So yeah.
Hey, like with his coaching style and the way he coaches, I look at the way he's coaching different age groups. And the way they've been looking in AAU, if you catch some of the videotape on Facebook, man, Cody Graves is doing his thing. I really like just the attitude. I like the attitude of what they bring on the court right now. And we're getting geared up for basketball right now. Like, we're getting geared up for basketball and football.
Can I ask you guys something? What are your thoughts on the fact that they've moved the games permanently to 7 o'clock? And, remember, it was 7:30 back in the day. It was 7:30 when we played football. And now, ever since COVID, it's 7 o'clock now. That's the thing, unless you had some weird circumstance where we're the noon game on a hot Saturday in August. But realistically, it's 7 o'clock, man. It is.
I like the 7 o'clock because you kind of get out of there just a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and
Yeah,
I
I
was
think there's
thinking
a little
that
bit
too.
about it.
I was thinking that too because back in the day when it was 7:30, some games wouldn't end until 10 and 10:30, and obviously we have the Waffle House crew that meets afterwards there on
Yeah.
Paper Mill. We always try to get our seat and table and enjoy our food. But between you and I, like, what other restaurants really are open other than like what Ale House, Twin Peaks, Hooters, like
Now all the kids go to Cookout.
Cookout?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cookout is the meetup.
yeah.
My daughter be like, "Oh, we're all going to Cookout afterwards." I'm like, "All right, you got to ride home."
It was. I want to give a shout out to Channing McDonald. He once said this that was really funny back in our day. He said, "Man, we only go to Applebee's when we win. When we lose, we go to Steak and Shake." He said
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
unfortunately, that year we went to Steak and Shake a lot more than we did damn
Oh
Applebee's.
man,
I'm telling you.
That's what
So,
Steak and Shake is
that's
there
funny.
on Kingston Pike next to the mall.
yep,
Yeah,
that's the infamous one where now that's where Firebirds and that other restaurant is. That's right there.
yeah.
Walk-ons.
That's
That's it.
wild.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. So
Walk-ons is right there now.
it's
Who would have
crazy.
thunk it? Who
Yeah.
would have thunk
But
it?
that used to be where Steak and Shake was, man. That's
It used to
crazy.
be
Dude, there have been so much like RIPs. Like if you think about it, the you had
the
what was
bowling
that called?
alley next to the Matrix
Yes,
in Western
yes,
Plaza.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
and then right there, does anybody remember Cozymel's, that
Yeah.
Mexican restaurant? That was a good
Cozumel.
place,
I met,
What
Cozymel's.
I met
about
my
Charlie
mom
Peppers?
worked there.
Charlie Peppers,
My
yes,
mom
yes.
worked at Cozy Mel's, and that's where I met Peyton Manning at.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Hey,
Hey, two pair, shout out for Charlie Peppers, man, because all
Charlie
that's
Peppers
gone.
is a
Remember,
spot.
it was right there on the other side of where Stefano's was on the strip.
The
And
strip.
that was a
Yeah.
good place to sit down and eat. And it's gone. It's now high rises that they're building over there, man. All that
Yeah.
is gone.
I'm,
So,
Gone.
oh,
I'm going.
Charlie's, all that's gone.
Yeah, man. Everything like
Tim Root.
mellow mushroom.
Is it gone? Is Mellow Mushroom gone on the strip?
Think so.
I think the only thing left is Cookout on the strip. Now that you mention it, Shane. So,
And Taco Bell and Gus's.
I remember going to Tin Roof, and
Tin Roof was awesome.
my ex-wife got bumped into by Eric Ainge, and he spilled her drink. So she turns around and grabs me. I'm ready to start throwing hands, and I look up
At all 6'6" of him.
yeah, like, and at first I didn't register like who I'm looking at because I've been drinking and all that stuff, and then I'm about ready to push him, and I see a couple of other players kind of surround. I'm like, I'm not winning this battle.
Man, you almost had to go with no, not EA, man.
My wife to this day still hates him for that.
Oh man. Man, he's such a good guy.
I had no problem with EA back in the day. I
Oh
didn't.
man, I love
So
EA,
yeah.
man. EA's the guy.
Like
Yeah.
he apologized later, but me being gung ho Marine and full of piss and vinegar, I was like, what the? Oh, hold up.
But you know what though? He was really good at UT. Really
He
good.
was.
Really good. Talented as hell.
That 07 season, man, they got to the SEC championship game.
Got to the SEC championship game. One thing I do like, I love him. I love his show, him and Brian Rice. But I love EA.
Mhm.
Like Brian Rice is hilarious to me.
Yeah,
they're still on, aren't they? Or is the show not on anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're on from was it 9 to 12? Because I listen to Swain. Like I'm friends with Swain.
Yeah.
So I listen to his pretty much every day when I'm out right around with work.
Well, do you remember they weren't on the Sports Animal. They were on the competitors.
They were
Tennessee
on,
Sports Radio.
They're on TSR.
Yeah, TSR. Steve Phillips was on TSR too.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Steve Phillips. He was my mentor. So yeah.
Steve Phillips was the man.
I loved him.
Man, how long ago?
It's now been 4 years. I think he's been gone now. 3 or 4 years. 3 or
Man,
4 years he's been gone. Cancer just ate him up, man. Honestly, so
Steve
yeah.
Phillips was such a great guy.
And he was a big dude too. And when you saw him at the end, he was so frail. I mean, that disease is awful. It really is. I mean, it's just terrible. So yeah.
He was such a good guy.
I guess I think the other thing too is think about some other places that were around West a few years ago that I bet the kids used to go to. Gaddy's. That's not there on Kingston Pike anymore. Remember?
The fifth quarter.
The fifth quarter.
Oh,
Gaddy's was right next to my house.
Oh man,
I was right there in West Hills. I was right there, like go right there to the Whitehouses, go down that road, 3 stop signs.
Man, what a time!
Yeah.
What a time! The Gaddies.
Do you know where I've never been? And you guys will probably laugh at me or what have you. I've never been to Bearden Fieldhouse, by the way. Never have.
What?
Never have.
It's not bad.
No.
It's not bad.
No, I've never been. I mean, because like I either go to Twin Peaks or I used to love to go to Hooters back in the day. Before COVID, I would love to go watch a UFC fight at Hooters back in the day.
My mom's cousin's husband is a part owner of like 3 Hooters. So used to go to Hooters regularly. He's part owner of Kingston Pike, Merchants, and then actually in Alcoa. And one in San Diego, surprisingly.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So when I went down to San Diego, I got the hook up out there.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. So, but yeah, I was just thinking about places there around West that like where you would go and so forth. I mean, we
always went to Gaddy's after track meets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you remember on the Strip, Buffalo Wild Wings? That Buffalo Wild Wings was actually good. Like that was on the Strip.
Oh man, it was great.
It was great. That was on football Saturdays. That was the place. You couldn't find a table.
I miss.
That was
before that, Mike and Willie's.
Mike and Willie's. Yeah. Did anybody ever eat at Hamburger Henry's on the Strip back in the day?
Hamburger Henry's was great back in the day.
It was. Yeah. Go ahead, Shay. What were you saying?
My mom always took me to Old College Inn.
OCI, absolutely.
OCI.
So
the
first time the goalpost came down when was that 82 when Majors beat Bear Bryant?
Yeah.
She helped carry that goalpost all the way down there.
Down there. Do you remember when OCI was actually featured on Man vs. Food? Not the guy that's now, but the OG Man vs. Food. Yeah. And I think
what was it that was
it's like that huge burger. It was that huge burger, and I think he beat it. I think he did it. But I think OCI's biggest problem, unfortunately, was the fact that they went to West Knoxville and failed in that shopping center by Peters over there. It's where Blaze Pizza is now. It just didn't make it there.
It should have stayed on campus.
It should have, because it was And Sunspot Wednesday night half price bottle of wine.
Well, that's where I need to go.
That's that serious look you got back in the day. So shout out to Alexis Massey if you ever knew her. Oh my goodness. Dance instructor out in California now. So used to be the camera girl when I was doing TVC News at UT. And you know what she said to me? She said, the girl I was kind of dating at the time introduced us, and she goes, "Oh, I remember every pretty pore on his face," or whatever, because she used to have to like, and I was like, yo, and I'm like, here's my girlfriend, here's she, and she's waving to me, and I'm like, don't get me in trouble. Do not get me in trouble, honestly. So, but that was Sunspot. And we also hit up Half Barrel back in the day. Half Barrel. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
Man, I started coming in town back in 07, 09. I would come in town every long weekend and just hit the Strip. This is sad to see what it is now.
Oh, it's pathetic. I mean, guys, I remember like me. Did anybody remember Curtis Taylor? He was my grade or whatever. Curtis calls me up one Saturday and says, "Dude, let's just go to the Strip." And I'm like, even in college, but he's like, "Nah, man, let's just go and see if we can blend in or whatever." There was so much to do on a Saturday.
He made you blend in.
He was cool, dude.
I would I would start on the strip and then make my way to the Old City every time I came in.
Man, how great of a track runner was he? He was all KIL.
Curtis, yeah.
He was the guy.
He was
the guy his senior year, man. Like,
yeah, he was a
from
cool
North
dude.
Dakota.
Yeah, and they called him Dakota. Remember, that was his nickname, Dakota. So yeah, Curtis Taylor. So, but dude, I mean, honestly, you're right, Shane. That was probably the best thing that could have been said. It is a travesty of what the strip is now compared to what it was 22 years ago.
Like my best friend Brent, I actually got him to come to UT after taking him to a game, and he heard all the stories about what the strip was like. I was like, dude, like, if you came in town with me back when I was coming up here every weekend, when we first became friends back in 2007 or 8, and to see what it was when you got here, like, you'd be like, this.
No, yeah,
man, it was great.
You mentioned Gus's, and it's still okay because it's like on a side street, but I still considered it the strip. You know, I liked BurgerFi, Albert Hainsworth's restaurant. You know, now it's a damn cellular sales store or whatever like that. You know, Verizon. Crystal's on the strip, man. It had a walk-up window. That line was wrapped around it at 4 a.m, hot and fresh.
That walk-up window was great.
Yes, still surviving over there right now would be Taco Bell, McDonald's.
McDonald's, Taco Bell. The Wendy's is gone. How does the Wendy's go out of business, man?
I mean, a lot of money for another.
Wendy's is a parking lot.
It's a parking
lot. Zaxby's hung in there.
I remember when Sawyer's was on the strip.
Sawyer's.
No. Remember when it was Sawyer's, Guthrie's, and Zaxby's on the strip?
Yes. I forgot about Guthrie's being on there. That's right.
Guthrie's was where Cookout is.
That's right. That's right. And here's the other thing, too. Ruby Tuesday was on the strip, by the way. In fact, they even were the sponsor of the scoreboard. And then, like, they were gone. I'm like, how do you not have that? McAllister's was on the strip.
McAllister's is gone. Yeah.
And then Hannah's. There was a Hannah's there on the strip, too, for a bit. So, man, this is bringing back memories. So, what's the bar? I've gone there a couple times. It's kind of like the frat hangout. It's on Lake Avenue, right behind the strip. What's that bar called? It's been there forever. I saw 2 kids get married there, or he got engaged or something because that was where they met, or something. It's right by Papa John's there, behind the strip.
Roman Gnome.
No, Roman Gnome was on the strip.
Roman Gnome was on the strip, but that was man. They had those big cheese sticks. I remember that, man. Those with the beer. What is that place called? Oh my gosh!
Lake Avenue. The Legacy? No.
No, you'll laugh when Lake Avenue bar.
Lake Avenue bar. Lake Avenue bar. I'm trying to think.
Oh, Cool Beans Bar and Grill.
Thank you. Cool Beans. Yes, Cool Beans. It's been there forever.
Yeah, it's like literally right behind. It's like right there to the side of a frat road and shit.
They're like the ones that have outlasted everybody, but they technically weren't on the strip, but they were a place that you could go small. But I used to have nice drinks on the patio out there. Yeah. So yeah, man, you brought up Roaming Gnome, man. That's a good one, 2-pair. That was really good.
Roaming Gnome, man. Roaming Gnome back in the day.
Well, and we might as well just name it because since we've mentioned everybody else, Wild Horse Saloon.
Oh yeah,
Wild Horse Saloon. So yeah, for sure. So,
Long Branch Saloon.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey, shout out to my guy, Kerry. He's on here. Good evening, fellas. Joining the #1 show on YouTube. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Thank you, brother.
Let him know, Kerry.
Yes, let him know. Soon to be #1. We're taking it on. So, yeah.
Kerry.
Yeah. Kerry actually wrote, when I first worked as an officer in 1998, tickets were $5. Kids under 12 were free. I didn't even know that. Amazing how times have changed. Yep. And then he did chime in, Cookout and McDonald's are all that's left on the strip. It's terrible. I mean, like, oh my gosh.
It's not the essence of what we once knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we knew about the essence of the strip.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you could park like obviously if you really wanted to get closer to the stadium, you were going to have to pay some money. But if you parked cheap there in the Ford area, you hit up the strip and then you made your way to the stadium for the game. That was the tradition, you know.
Park in
I
the
mean,
fort,
yep,
park in the fort. You know what I'm saying? Park in
yep.
the fort, walk down on the strip, and go to Neyland. You're
Hmm.
not. Yeah,
Yep.
that's some of the best times of my life, man.
Yeah, and there was even
Some
some
of the best
great
times of my life.
tailgating in that gas station. Remember the Rocky Top over there?
Yeah,
That was some
yeah,
great tailgating. I mean, you could meet a friend and they'd give you a beer and have a great time or whatever like that. So yeah, I mean, shoot.
man.
Somebody
Yeah,
would have a
it,
TV with some of the other games on. Oh my God, man! That's just what it was, man. I just don't even know. Like, I guess are they still planning to do that thing between Neyland and Thompson Bowling Arena there because that could be something special if they build that
yeah,
or what have you.
yeah.
I
It's
think.
gonna kind of resemble LA Live. What they're
Okay.
trying to do. Yeah, they're
Gotcha.
trying to
Well, they
do.
need to do something because the strip is just high rises and nothing over there. I mean, goodness gracious, it's bad.
Right.
It's
It's
bad.
a little bad right now. A little
It
bad.
is. It is. You know, going on to have you checked out any NBA Summer League or anything like that? Like, I mean, what's been going on with that?
Actually,
So, yeah,
Dalton Connect has looked really, really good in summer league.
that's
Um,
awesome.
you know, for what it's worth, Reed Shepard has looked really good, and I was kind of worried about him going to Houston because I'm like, man, that's a lot of guards. Like, where is he gonna fit with that roster? Like, them dudes are gonna be chucking the ball a lot.
Hmm.
But he looked like he can just hold his own, and defensively he defends well. So, I in the one game I saw at Zach Edey, Memphis got a steal. Like,
He can play. I mean, he got a lot of calls, but he can play. And if they allow him to do the stuff he did in college, I mean,
it's a
it's like Yao
wrap.
Ming Part Two or whatever like
Yeah,
that. So.
and the thing is, he showed you a little bit of everything. Yeah, summer league has been. What I gauge from summer league is I don't put too much onus on it, but there are some guys that are saved by the summer league. You look at a
Hmm.
dude like Jeremy Lin. You look at the way he played. There's no Linsanity. There's no pickup of him in Golden State. There's none of that. And then it's funny how he ends his career when he wins a championship and they fly to Vegas. And
Hmm.
his start was really in Vegas. So yeah, Summer League is dope, man. I think the way they do it now, because you got the Salt Lake City Classic, then from that they got the California Classic, and then you got the Las
Vegas.
Vegas Summer League. Yeah, the 2K25, the one that 2K sponsors out there. So and then a guy that I love the fact that Cleveland has DJ Burns in their summer league.
Oh yeah,
Man,
yeah, yeah. The big
oh
dude.
my
So
God, the
yeah,
big dude. The
yeah.
big dude. Like, I'm telling you, if Kevin Jack can acquire those post moves that DJ Burns has, and then the fact that his range is getting better on his shot, because I'll keep saying it, our core four, Jalen Hill, Reese Clark, Devin Martin, and Kevin Jack. If the core four is rolling, ain't nobody in Knoxville wanting to
Hmm.
see these
God,
guys.
and could you imagine if Kevin Jack was 6'10"? Goodness gracious, he'd have so many
Oh my
D1
God,
offers, and he
dude,
has a
he's
three
gonna get
point
beat.
shot. DJ Burns doesn't
Yeah,
even have a 3-point shot. Kevin Jack has a 3-point shot. So
yeah.
I mean,
I think Kevin's on a mission this year, man. Them dudes are on a mission, and I really think he's saying to everybody that he's one of the best in the city. And the way Garrett Birch has been shooting this summer, getting back his rhythm, the way Robert Schuler has been looking. Like I keep saying about this freshman class that are sophomores now, the Kalu Fofanas, my
Sanders.
young
Sanders. I want to see
David
Sanders.
Sanders.
Yeah. So
Dave Sanders. I'm high on Dave Sanders. Uh, Also, you know how I feel about Sean Smith, and then my Afro Samurai. I can't wait to see him play, and of course Dane Clark, the paper boy. There's a bunch of guys on this team. Mike Nelson. For a guy to sit out all year,
yeah,
like very
the
humble.
return of Mike
Yeah,
Nelson. I mean, you're
the
going to have
return of
him.
Mike
Yeah,
Nelson.
that's going to
Yeah,
be huge. That's going to be huge.
yeah,
So
that
for
is going to
sure.
be huge for him. There's more guys on this list that I'd be remiss about. Joe Dupree shooting the ball well this summer.
We learned anything more
Um,
about Chris Cowan? Is he going to be a part of it? Because I loved that kid last year. So
that's the one guy I have not heard from.
yeah,
So I don't know what's the deal. I haven't seen anything. I definitely hope he's a part of this
he needs
team
to
in
be.
this
He needs to
transition
be.
because, dude, you want to talk about the X factor. And then a guy that I'm really high on. The dude may only say two words. Malik Wilson.
Malik Wilson.
He the man just plays, and I love Malik Wilson. You ain't gonna get two words out of this guy. Like he's the quietest assassin on defense, and a high energy guy that's gonna get your boards. That's gonna lock up. You don't see too many guys get past Malik Wilson.
No,
That
no.
I don't see it. Like
It's going to be such a fun, deep team to watch. Honestly,
yeah,
it
it is.
really is, and I can't wait to see what Coach E has planned and so forth for sure. Wanted to ask you guys. It's not quite NBA Summer League. I guess I could go on ahead and create a banner for it. But did anybody catch the Olympic team against Australia the other day by any chance?
A
They
lot of
won.
turnovers,
They
man.
won,
A
but
lot of turnovers.
it was
Sloppy,
tough. I mean, it was sloppy. It
sloppy,
really was. So yeah,
sloppy. And I think they need to go with AD starting and bring Embiid off the bench.
I agree with that. I
Bring
agree with
Embiid
that.
off the bench because it like
It just doesn't fit. It doesn't gel. I don't know.
his knee like he's not 100%.
Mm-mm.
You know
Mm-mm.
what I'm saying? That's why Kawhi got sent home. Um, I feel like there's too many turnovers. You can't be that lackadaisical with the basketball. Like even though you squeak out a win against Australia, um, but who's to say in group play you have a matchup like that with the tempo? The USA should not lose to anyone over there with all the guys they have.
Not even close. And I don't even
Is-
care that France is the host, team or whatever. Absolutely not. Like it being in Paris or whatever. So yeah,
and they don't got enough.
yeah, they don't. They don't.
They
So
don't got enough.
yeah.
Like they got some hoopers, but they ain't got enough at all.
Not if US is engaged. And I'm just hoping that when the lights come on, they do become engaged, honestly, for sure. Because here's the thing, Olympics starts next Friday. Like those opening ceremonies are next Friday. So it's already here. So yeah.
Yeah,
I
man,
mean,
it's quickly upon us.
yeah, for sure. I wanted to briefly talk about this real quick. The Copa America final. My favorite team,
Man,
Argentina, did it again. They won. But what the real story was not the game itself, but the fact that the game didn't even start on time.
right? Yeah,
It
that was
started an
wild.
hour and 15 minutes late because you had fans who didn't even have tickets coming in there and just
Yeah,
they made a mess of Hard Rock Stadium, just destroyed one of their bar and restaurants there in that lovely facility down there in Miami. So
Was that where they were climbing through the ventilation shaft too?
yes, Shane, they
mm,
were doing that. I mean, and realistically, some people said that America just was not equipped to deal with the craziness of the
no,
fans, of South
no, not
America.
that,
They're just
not
not.
that
They're a
type.
different level. They're a different
They're
level,
way
honestly.
different level of fan.
Yeah,
Way different level.
yeah, definitely
Nobody's
patriots for their
nobody's
country.
ready for that type of level of fandom.
It's true. It's really true. So yeah. Um,
And they say stuff about us throwing golf balls and mustard bottles.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, I know. So, but it was just, I mean, between and here's the thing, it was Colombia's fans involved again. Yes, the Uruguay players ran into the stands a couple days ago and had a fight with the Colombian fans, and then it's the Colombian fans trying to sneak in there to watch them try to take down Messi and Argentina and everything like that. So, but Argentina did it. Argentina did it, and Spain beat England in the Euro, and so soccer's done for right now. They had the spotlight, and now it seems like everything's really turning to the Olympics, which is next week, which I'm excited for. But I will tell you guys this. I'm going to let you all have your moment to talk about this. Two-Pair, you said it beautifully earlier. There was a certain game that came out that kept everybody from home. Crime rates went down. Talk about it, brother. Talk about it.
Hey,
Shane,
man,
you too. Chime in.
Let me tell you this. This might be the hardest game I've ever bought the days before the game came out. And this pre-release, it got to the point I had to buy another controller. The cord on my remote ain't charging no more. You know what I mean? It's bad. It's bad. But what I will say about this, it is that AI. Like
they make it a little unfair or what? So
it's difficult.
I feel like I'm having to learn how to play all over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's been years, guys. I mean, there was a time where we could use the same play 3 times in a row and it'd get you a touchdown. So
it ain't like that no more.
No,
it's over.
I can hear my son right now yelling at the TV because he thinks he's good at Madden. So he's up there right now. The boy is. I don't know who he's playing right now. He's yelling at the screen.
That's hilarious. Let me ask you, who are the announcers? Who did they get? Herb Street again? Who else did the announcing this time?
Dave Pollock, Jesse Palmer, and Reese Davis. Joe Tessitore does the smaller game. Like they got it as where on certain games you will have like
the B team. The B team. The 10 o'clock game on ESPN2.
Hey man, those dudes work hard.
They're great. No, they're great.
They work hard. Man.
I have no room to talk. I'm not even doing that, please. So
but I would love to. Like, I mean, So the different broadcast teams on there. Shane, did you notice how like if it's a smaller game, it's like David Pollock and Reese Davis and. Who am I forgetting? Jesse? Palmer? Yeah,
Jesse Palmer.
Yeah.
So today, I started my dynasty and I overloaded Tennessee's schedule. So like my first game was Ohio State to get bumped up in the rankings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I threw Michigan in there also. They checkered Neyland.
Whoa.
Oh, so because it was such a big game, they checkered the That's smart.
It's got the fire that go after the game and the way they do it during the opening. Like it is the attention to detail. Like they were talking I think I had like 310 yards of squirrel white in a game. And they were like, oh, looking like Nash and Kent out there. Like they will even talk about like historical players in the game.
Yeah, I like the way they do that. I like the way they do that. Like they'll be like, looks like Justin Vincent or Clyde Edwards-Helaire when I played LSU at night. That was pretty cool.
That's really cool. No, that's awesome. Man. So
but the crime rate is going down because of this game. Like there's nobody committing crimes. The dudes are in the house.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this:
yesterday,
are men handing money to their women to like go buy something and leave me alone while I'm in my man cave for hours? Or go ahead, Shane. Though I'm just curious.
Yesterday, because it released yesterday. I called up my daughter. I was like, "Hey, go turn on my Xbox, click on the game, and just let me know if it turns on." I see make sure that my deluxe edition I pre-ordered gives me full access. It's like, yeah, what do you want to do? It's like, okay, as long as it loaded, it says push a button, just turn it back off. My son went with me to work yesterday, and he was arguing with me. He's like, oh, I get first crack. I was like, no. I have waited your whole life for this game to come back out.
That's insane right there, that it has been 11 years. That's crazy. Good
I
God.
told him, I'm like, you do not get to even turn it on. You get to watch me go back 11 years in time when you were still just a little baby.
Golly. You know, I used to play even when the new games didn't come out. I'd play like 06. 06 was my favorite for whatever reason. I don't know what was so special about that one.
I think that started the Road to Glory.
The Road to Glory, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what it was. And as you got better, your girlfriend that was on the little like sticky on the little pegboard looked hotter and hotter.
It's true. It's true. I always loved Dynasty mode. I wanted to see how many times I could win it and the streak and Heisman Trophy winner every year or something. That was just some, you know,
on mine right now.
Player.
I'm playing on All American. I stacked my schedule. I had Ohio State week 1. NC State I still have that one there, and I put Michigan as week 3, and I'm number 1 right now.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, though, that you can still do that, because I remember in the Dynasty mode, I would pick whoever were the preseason rankings the best. I'd make it as hard as I could, you know, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I'd play them there. Like, I'd play the away game. I want their, you know, shaking stadium and the fight song and all that stuff, their traditions. So, yeah, I mean, so. But,
man, I'm just glad the game is out. The second it came out, I took pictures of it, as you all saw, and showed that my son didn't want that smoke, even though he thought he did. And I wasn't even trying. I still hung 56 on it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, shoot. Hey, that's how lessons are learned right there. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's up there trying to get better.
Have you just been playing with Tennessee, Shane, or have you played with anybody else?
I'm playing with Tennessee right now, but probably start up a second dynasty and take like Georgia Southern or somebody and make them a powerhouse.
Okay. 2 pair, who you been playing with so far?
Let's see. I've been with Arizona, Florida State, Tennessee. Tonight, I think I'm gonna play with. I might want to try Coastal Carolina. I tried Miami as well. Play with them.
Let me ask you this. Was the quarterback Neal an option or whatever? Because we didn't do that last year against Georgia Tech. I'm just curious if they left that out of the Miami playbook for NCAA 2024. I can say that with the most painful loss of I was just terrible. So terrible.
Terrible. That's a tough loss. I forgot about that loss for a second, because that was a bad one. Miami should have won that one.
Dude, I mean, like, I literally was just like telling my mom, I was like, yeah, it looks like Miami's going to pull it out. I mean, this is like the worst win ever. And then it's like he fumbled, and then they go right down the field and score. And I'm like, we lost in a minute. Like, all we had to do was take a knee. That's it. They had no timeouts, nothing, and just terrible, just awful.
Just want to be dancing and carry on, and not even knowing.
No, it was bad. That was a bad loss. So, yeah. All right. I have to talk about it. WWE Wrestling. This storyline is fire. You have, and I hope Larry, is Larry on? Let me see here. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Carrie, let's talk about that real quick. What about the drunk woman who butchered the national anthem at the Home Run Derby last night? She stinks. Stinks.
That was horrible.
I saw on Twitter today that she's like, yep, I've got a problem. I'm going to check myself into a facility.
Imagine that it took butchering the Star-Spangled Banner to get you to get some help, honestly. So, yeah. I mean, that's just nuts. That is nuts. I was just appalled, and I'm glad Carrie brought it up. I usually used to be like really obsessed with the Home Run Derby, but I've not watched it in a while. I think the last one I watched was when Aaron Judge was in it, and so was Giancarlo Stanton. But Giancarlo Stanton was with
Derby is like the slam dunk competition. It's just not worth it anymore.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be. It's like everything now, So I did
Yeah.
want to say this, but to go back to the wrestling real quick, man, I'm just saying they now. I wish Larry Frank was on so he could chime in because he's a huge Jey Uso fan. But they've got
Mm.
Jey Uso now in this storyline where he looks at Rhea Ripley and he goes like this. He goes, "Call me." Like he said that, like, "Call me." Yeah, and and then poor Dirty Dom and then like Liv, oh my God, her promo yesterday. This thing is insane. It is just, and honestly, Shane, if you want to chime in on this, brother,
I have not
we're
actually watched it yet. So
but where could this go if this was on Netflix? I mean, that's all I'm saying. This is just a tease of what we're getting on USA. When this thing hits Netflix, I mean, I really hope it's Attitude Era on steroids. No pun intended.
it is going to have to be like TVMA.
Has to be. Has to be. So, like the old ECW back in the day, where you
Yeah,
might have some valet flash or, tons of blood with a guy getting thrown through 3 tables and land on thumbtacks all over the place, honestly. So, yeah. But, just interesting, just interesting, the wrestling and the fact that Jey Uso, like, he's like, hey, I heard you're single and everything like that. Oh, that was just so great. Oh my God, it's on YouTube. If you missed it live, I have not laughed so hard in a while.
I see some of it on TikTok today.
Oh, it's hilarious. I mean, and again, it's like it's definitely Raw is the superior show at the moment with the star power, and you've got SummerSlam. SummerSlam's starting to become a really stacked card. Between Gunther and Damian Priest, and now Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley for the women's title. I mean, you've got some good matches for SummerSlam coming up in the middle of the month of August coming up. So yeah, for sure. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
like I will say though, NXT is just been what I've been watching, man. Like I like Raw, I like NXT. The way NXT storylines have been a little bit better.
yeah, oh for sure. And two pair. I don't know if you heard me ask Shane. Like, could you imagine this storyline that with Liv and Dom and Rhea Ripley and now Jey Uso on
Oh
Netflix
man,
with? Oh my gosh! I mean,
it's
goodness
gonna
gracious.
sell, man, because just the way I like that storyline is intriguing, and it's what's making Raw at
Raw.
its Raw. That's what Raw is, and when it goes to Netflix, you just see a different dynamic of like storylines and character building that you can play around with. It will make it feel like it was in the '90s, but the thing in the now, it's just the competition. Do you watch AEW at all?
I got into it a little bit ago, but it's just in wrong times. I don't know. Like I'm just not around to watch it. So that's the thing.
But it has such a huge following, and I just don't get like it's like the AEW fans. It's not even close to WCW.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. It will
It's
never
not
give
even close.
WWE a run. It won't give WWE a run like WCW did. It won't. It just won't. So
It
yeah.
won't. You can't give WWE a run when there's how many different entities in WWE now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, here, take Kerry's comment. Watch for that McIntyre Punk angle to make McIntyre the face eventually and win the Royal Rumble and World Championship WrestleMania 41. His promos are killing it right now. I'm just telling you, the star
Yeah.
power on Raw right now is incredible. And name me 5 guys on AEW that are not past their prime that are just killing it right now. You really have a hard time. I mean,
Yeah, because it's a bunch of past their prime guys.
Edge is
Jericho,
there, but
like,
God, and I feel bad for Edge because he lost a lot of years because of that neck injury, and I know he's trying to make up for it, but
but
just imagine if this
no.
was 10 years ago and he was doing,
Yeah. If
10
this
years ago,
was
he would have been
10 years
well in his
ago.
prime. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, 10 years ago, but he retired early. Like
yeah.
that WrestleMania in Atlanta. That
Hmm.
was his last WrestleMania.
Do you know that's what hurt Cena the most? Because realistically, Cena and Edge had a great feud. If you ever watched those best feuds or whatever
Hmm
like that, some people say Cena and Orton, but realistically, Cena and Edge had some
hmm
great,
Yeah.
great chemistry. The way they
I
fought
saw
each other.
something the last week before that
hmm
Matt and Jeff Hardy would like to finish out their career with WWE.
Well,
mm
can they
Just
stay sober? Can they stay sober? That's the thing. I mean, shoot. So
That is the thing with them.
yeah, terrible. I mean, so.
Great guys though, but
Oh,
man.
very talented, very talented. Been
hmm
in the business a long time, so but their demons just get the best of them,
yeah.
honestly. So
Right.
yeah, for sure. So, uh, anything else, guys, you wanted to bring up and so forth? I mean, we talked about the ring ceremony that was really special. We talked about the high school ticket prices. Oh, real
Yeah.
quick, I did want to finish something, and we can go back to West football because it was released this evening. Jesse Smithy Jesse Smithy revealed the top games of the season coming up and so forth, and I just wanted to just share some of the games to get you amped up for that week 1 when it finally comes. And let's see here. The first one is actually Powell versus Anderson County. That's going to get everything started that Thursday night, and it's going to be on TV.
That will be a good game.
Yeah.
hmm
You want to know something that people have forgotten, by the way? Because of TSSAA rules, Connor Wheeler has to sit out the first half because he got thrown out of that game against West for that cheap shot he took on Anderson Smith. So,
Mm.
so he's got to sit out. He's got to sit out that first half. So, I'm not saying that, he won't make a difference in that second half. But realistically, if AC can make it interesting with their new quarterback from Campbell County, Landon Hensley, that could be interesting. But Deuce is going to do his thing for Powell. Deuce is a
hmm
pretty big boy over there at quarterback.
What sucks there is you game plan prepping the whole season based off his availability. You got to make sure his backup is ready.
For that first half,
hmm
because realistically, if I was Anderson County's defense, and that they're always going to have a good defense, even though they lost Nick Moog, literally they need to prepare and make Deuce beat them, not with his legs but with his arm, and that's always been the question about Deuce's arm. So yeah. But obviously West at Bearden, we talked about that. That's his number 2 game on Saturday. Ravenwood at Alcoa. Ravenwood's been a traditional power in 6A. They come over here to Alcoa. Alcoa beat Ravenwood last year at Ravenwood, so now this is the return trip. William Blunt at Austin East. Stanton Stevens' big return game. Halls at Campbell County. The Cougars have been like the air show with the Price twins as their coach. Now it's Mark Pemberton and the Wing T. So you talk about two difference of styles. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, that's incredible.
Too much anymore.
You don't. He's the last of it that runs the Wing T. You know what I'm curious about too? I would like to see what Lenoir City is going to run with Coach Cummings there now. Is he going to spread it out, or is he going to run like the veer a little bit? I don't know what he's going to do, to be honest with you. So.
I've watched him through all the schools he's been at. His warm-ups are still the same.
All of them.
It's the exact same thing that he did with us.
Well, and I'll tell you, like I said on the last show, man, them Lenoir City players, they didn't know what they were getting being yelled at a 7-7. That's the competitive nature of Scott Cummings. Okay, so that's it. He don't like to lose. So simple as that. So yeah. I did want to also mention Farragut at Dobbins Bennett. Jeff Courtney's first game on the road over there at Dobbins Bennett, and then the other game that's very intriguing to me. Obviously, Mo West at Mo East, the Battle of Morristown. But the game though that I'm kind of intrigued with, that used to be an unbelievable game, but give these coaches a couple of years. Fulton at Central, Justin Long versus Kevin Lane, the Battle of Broadway. and it's at Central. So, it's going to be Central really needs that win. Fulton, Central won last year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in that game this year. And Central's gotten the best of Fulton the last couple of years, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Yeah, but that game intrigues me, and obviously I love Kevin Lane. Shout out to him, and realistically, I root for him for every game except when he plays West. So yeah,
That's cold right
yeah,
there. I like that.
yeah. So he's my dude. So. Well, guys, anything else you all want to talk about? Great show tonight.
Yeah, man.
I think that we're getting close, and I can feel it, man. It's just right there on the cusp, man. It's right there on the cusp, and
We're
I
getting
absolutely
closer.
I love that I could show off the rings. I mean, it was a great night last night, and seeing everybody.
Shout out to the administration for putting us on the app now.
Let's do that again. Yeah, Shane, shout them out again. Fan Zone on that sports app. Download it. If you're watching this show, hit that like and subscribe button. We've already gotten a couple more subscribers and gotten a ton of views, and that's what drives this channel. That's what drives the show. And the chat box, Carrie, Larry, anybody that contributes, we love that
Yeah,
stuff.
man.
Don't be
We
shy.
appreciate that.
Please just come and give your
Fans,
opinion.
players, interact with us. Let us know how you feel.
Absolutely, man. Let us know. Let us know for sure. So, absolutely. So, but Shane, final thoughts, brother?
Hey, I'm ready for football season to get here. I'm ready to see what these scrimmages are going to look like. Ready for that first game. Let's try to go live there. Fans, thanks for supporting us every week. Keep it up. You're all the ones we do this for.
Yeah, that's it. Just want to give a shout out to all my dudes, the coaches, the administration, the parents. We are One West, and I always love to throw up that W, man. I just always love to throw up that W. So, but as always, Two Pair, close us out, baby.
Hey, man, y'all know what it is, man. Love, peace, and chicken grease. We up out of here. But before we up out of here, you got to let them know, man, about when the clock strikes 0.
Absolutely, baby, because this is always Rebels with a Cause. And just remember, the cause don't stop when the clock hits 0, baby.
Right.
Rebels with a Cause out.
Hey, Dubs up.